What's up, the internet? How's it going? Can you hear me? We're going to do something a little weird tonight. I have not been feeling well for like about the past week, maybe a little longer. So I was unable to get ready for tonight's live sale in the way I wanted to. See, even my camera's not right. So I thought we'll just do a hangout while I get ready for tomorrow night's live sale. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get ready for tomorrow night's live sale while we hang out and do like a little bit of an AMA style, ask me stuff kind of show. I think Jay's going to come by in a little bit. So we're just going to have a good time. We're going to have a light, easy time. If I start to feel too gross, we'll end it early. If I start to feel, good, we'll keep going. We're going to play it by ear and we're going to see how these things go. So stick around. We'll be right back. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. This is the Producers Live Hangout. We are just going to kind of, hang out and do stuff. Like, get ready for next week's sale. I'm going to do a little bit of some unboxings, like, AKA the bundles that y'all haven't claimed. I'm going to open them up and show you what was in them. You guys are going to ask me questions that you want answers to. I'm going to do my best to answer all of those questions, and we're just going to kind of see, to be real honest, how I feel as we go on. May call the ball a little bit earlier than normal. We're just going to have to see. Of course, it's also going to be very dependent on if you guys, talk to me about stuff. So, going to eat chili dogs, then I'll hop in. I had chili dogs for lunch, Jay. I had them from the world famous Tony Paco's restaurant, the original one in the Hungarian village of Toledo, Hungarian village neighborhood of Toledo. We went because I needed to buy a very specific kind of pickles. Yes, that's right. We went so that I could buy a very specific type of pickles. One of the fun things about the Tony Paco's restaurant here, the original Tony Paco's in Hungarian Village, is that the gift shop there is run by comic book writer, often guest on The Experience, good friend of mine, good friend of all of ours, former co-host to Dan, Jim Beard. So I got to go hang out with Jim for a quick minute. He was busy, and see him and say hey. But we got to go. We had some chili dogs today. I thought perhaps the salt and the chili would make me feel better. We'll see. This is Ed. The answer to that is this is lunch. Jay eating now is just lunch, Ed. So, All right. The first bundle I had opened, because again, what I'm going to be doing is unbundling bundles that y'all haven't claimed. For the most part, I'll give you a chance to claim them before I unbundle them. No, I went to Tony Paco's, which is what they do there. My mom got German potato salad. Sean, if you're not working and you want to come hang out, have Jay send you the link if you want. But no, my mom got their German potato salad. Like, they have other things, but I got hot dogs and pickles because, again, I wanted hot dogs and pickles. All right, so the first bundle I opened is the They Were Cannibals bundle. I'm going to wait and see if this is mirrored on screen. Anyway, this was a bundle of Bob's Burgers. If you don't know, the original intent was that Bob's Burgers was going to be a show about a family of cannibals. In fact, the first episode, they get shut down for supposedly serving human meat. Well, that was the premise of the show. Hey, it's not mirrored. That works out well. Okay. So this is the stuff that was in that bundle that no one claimed. So we have Bob's Burgers #1, Midtown Comics exclusive. It was a $15 book. We have Bob's Burgers #12, Hot Topic exclusive variant. This one is actually still sealed in the shrink wrap. They sent them to Hot Topic in. That was a $10 book that went unclaimed. We have, this is Bob's Burgers #2. This is just the A cover. It's kind of out of print. It's hard to get. The McCarthy cover. It was a $15 book that was part of that $60 bundle. And then Bob's Burgers what number is this? #1, Baltimore Comic-Con exclusive. This is the one where they all dress up like whatever that legally not My Little Pony is. That's popular in Bob's Burgers for Baltimore Comic-Con. That's a $35 variant that was part of that bundle that went unclaimed. See how we're going to do this? I'm going to give you guys a chance to buy the bundles, and then if you don't want them, we'll open them, and I'll show you what was in them. Because then they'll be open, and all I have to do tomorrow is rebundle them if I choose to do bundles, or maybe we'll do open books tomorrow. This one was fun. This is Daffy Duck's favorite insult for $75. Daffy Duck's favorite insult for $75. We had determined that this is despicable. Gaffigan says hot pockets, TJ. So Daffy Duck's favorite insult we decided was despicable. This was Despicable Deadpool for $75. There is a book that isn't in here because I didn't want to put it in the bundle in case something should happen. But if you claimed this bundle, you would get that book as well. Should I open it? Should I open it? Or does anybody want to claim Despicable Deadpool? So just so you know, I have myself up on YouTube right here on the television. So I'm going to give you guys basically until the lag catches up, and then I will open it. All right. Seems like nobody's into the $75 Despicable Deadpool bundle. So in this bundle, again, this was Daffy Duck's favorite insult. You're despicable. Despicable Deadpool. We had Despicable Deadpool $2.90. $2.89. This was all Deadpool kills Cable storyline. $2.88. And $2.91. So you had $2.88 through $2.91. The whole run of Deadpool kills Cable. And those are like $5 books a piece. But you remember the bundle was $75 because if you had claimed it, you were going to get Despicable Deadpool 300, Ken Hazer, Walking Deadpool CCA, one-off sketch cover with the DFCOA and the sticker and the bag and board, which was a $100 value in and of itself. So basically, you got $25 off of that and all of those books for free. Nobody claimed it. All right. This bundle, Triple Your Fun, was a $10 bundle. We decided these are Marvel Triple Actions, Marvel 3-in-1s, Marvel, Triple Team, whatever they called them. So these were those. I'm going to give you guys a chance, if you want to claim this, to claim this. But if it gets up, if the point that I choose, which is me tapping this corner, gets onto my YouTube on the screen, gets through the delay, I'm opening the books. So, figure that one out. What up, Nope? What up, TJ, Eddie? Say hi when you get here, everybody. I know there's more than just those guys here. Say hi. Like, we're just hanging out. Like, I know there's a number of you guys that like to just lurk. This is no time to lurk. This is a hangout. Say hi. All right, it's time to open the Triple Your Fun bundle. That was $10 that no one claimed. What's cool about the way I'm doing these bundles, guys, is I can run the scissors through them and not get anywhere near the book because of the super great Tyvek envelopes. All right, so Marvel Triple Action number 4, which is Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, and The Thing. This was a $10 book all on its own. That was in a $10 bundle. Then we have Marvel Triple Action, Captain America, Hawkeye, and the Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, featuring the Swordsman. That book was another $5. So now your $10 bundle was already worth $15. And then we throw this one in, Marvel Triple Action number 6, with Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man, The Hostage Earth. This was a $15 book. So for a $10 bundle, you could have gotten $30 worth of books. All right, 2 Marvel trades for $7.50. 2 Marvel trades for $7.50. This was 2 Marvel trades. They were $7.50. So one was $5 and one was $2.50, or you figure out the math on both of them. What is that? $3.75 a piece, something like that. So let me know if you want this one. 2 Marvel trades for $7.50 before I unbox them and unbag them and show you what they were. While I'm doing that, I am going to grab a swig of purple Powerade. All right, chat. I don't care what brand preference you have. Sports drink. What color preference? Purple, red, blue, yellow, green, orange, white, pink. What's your favorite color preference of sports drink? All right. No one is claiming the Marvel the 2 Marvel trades, so I'm going to unbag those. Cool thing about the brown bags is that they're reusable. So this was Black Panther Volume 1 by Ta-Nehisi Coates, which was a very well-regarded Black Panther volume. Came out right after the first movie. All right. Leonard is in for blue. Always go for the punch-flavored ones from Eddie, so generally red. And then we have Avengers, Road to the Avengers. So this was the Iron Man, I Am Iron Man 1 and 2, Iron Man 2, Public Identity 1 through 3, Iron Man 2, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Captain America The First Vengeance 1 through 4. This was the source material that was referenced leading up to the first Avengers film. This was a $25 trade originally, and this was a $17 trade eventually that you could have gotten for $7.50. TJ is always partially yellow. Nope likes the punch, but also likes some of the blues. All right, this is You Give Love a Bad Name. This riddle stumped you guys for a really long time, and I was really kind of proud of it, but I thought you'd get it faster. As we decided, You Give Love a Bad Name are books featuring Cyclops on the cover. Cyclops covers. So, Cyclops covers for $35. If you want to claim it, you have until basically till the lag catches up there to claim it. Purple is a good treat to have, yes. Once in a while they'll have a blue punch, yes, Ed, they do. Did my camera move? Or my head cut off, or did I just scroll down? There we go. Now we're in better shape. Okay. Yes, worst husband and father ever. It's no wonder his kids became the menaces they were. All right, guys, in a little bit when Jay gets here, I am going to adjust my seating and my camera because this is starting to hurt a little bit. So, X-Men Adventures number 11, The Dying Game. Again, this was a $35 bundle. X-Men Adventures number 11, The Dying Game. You know, Cyclops is ironically shooting his own kid. X-Men 23, which is a great, Cyclopsing the logo. Those are all like $2 books. Then we have X-Men 310, again, Cable, Cyclops, father and son dynamics. X-Men 176 is the first appearance of Valerie Cooper. This book alone is $8. First appearance of Valerie Cooper. This is a 9.4 or better condition grade. We have that time when when Cyclops pretended to be a good partner. X-Men 174, again in the 9.4 or better grade. That is a $10 book. See, he's all like, Jean, I love you. I'm not a jerk. No. Then we have the official comic book adaptation of the original X-Men movie. The original X-Men movie comic book adaptation. That was a $10 book. And last but not least, he's on the cover looking smug as hell. Uncanny X-Men 378. This is the first alternate Earth X-Men, Earth 2378. Or no, 23378 X-Men. You can see him right there looking all smug. That was a $20 book that was in that bundle. Nick, you should make sure you follow us all on social media, buddy. There was a post this evening saying what we were doing. Make sure you hit those notifications. So again, guys, we're just hanging out. I do not have a sale prepared. In fact, I need to open most of these bundles. I do not feel well. I haven't felt well in about a week. So we're just kicking it. We're hanging out. Jay's going to come in here in a little bit. Maybe Sean if he decides to be a human. But I'm giving you guys a last chance on these bundles, and then I'm opening them so that I can get ready tomorrow for tomorrow's sale. This Super Hot Spec book, mega deal, $65. I give you a hint, guys. This is $35 at least off of what it goes for on the Electronic Bay. So this is Super Hot Spec book. I don't know that anybody ever guessed what this one was. So if you want to guess, I'll give you another 10% off if you can guess what it is. But here in a minute, we're going to open it up. Okay. I can't sit like this and wait for Jay. So give me 30 seconds, guys. I am going to make a small adjustment. All right. We're back. Whew. See? Now I'm like sitting up. I feel better. Things are smoother. All right. So the guess was that the Super Hot Spec Book was the Snorks. No. If it had been a Snorks book, I wouldn't have been dumb enough to sell it. Because it's the Snorks, man. There we go. So, cool. All right, let's open the Super Hot Spec deal. This is your last chance to claim it if you want it. 65 bucks. All right. This was. Come on. There we go. Trying to save the bag. Not really worth the effort. All right. This one was all new Venom #1, Stephen Platt Virgin variant, vegan variant. 2 first appearances in this book. This is the Comics Pro exclusive and near mint plus condition. So that was a $100 book that I had for 65. All right. Why is your suit that color? This is a $15 bundle. Why is your suit that color? Again, we had determined that these were all Black Suit Spider-Man covers. So why is your suit that cover was $15? You have, by the way, these are all Spectacular Spider-Man issues. So you have just a couple of seconds here until I make that determination that it's time to move on, based on the lag on YouTube, to claim the books before I open the pack and get them for that price. If you want to get them after I open the pack, like I'll sell them to you at cover or at whatever I have them valued at. Do 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 do. So what else did everybody else have? Jay had chili dogs. I had chili dogs for dinner. I had a hamburger. What did everybody else eat today? Tell me what you ate. What did you eat on the 4th of July? Tell me what you ate on the 4th of July. All right. Time to open the Why Is Your Suit That Color bundle. Again, these are all Spectacular Spider-Mans featuring Spider-Man in the black suit. I do need Jeopardy music, but really I just need less ADHD, TJ. It has been a really weird few brain days with not feeling well, so I need less ADHD and more, people to tell me what they ate for the 4th of July. So this is Spectacular Spider-Man, all new, all daring. Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man 109. 109, again, featuring him in the black suit. This is He Who Is Without Sin, which is a great story. That one was a $4 book. This one, all new, all different, or all new, all daring, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man 115, again in the black suit, but this time with that guy, Doctor Strange, right on the cover. Another $4 book. Again, this was a $15 bundle. Well, we're at 8 so far. All new, all daring, Spectacular 108 featuring the Sin Eater. The Sin Eater Strikes, all new, all different 108, again featuring the black suit. That was about a $3 book. All new, all daring 118, again. Well, the thing about the Bob's Burgers bundle, Nick, is they were all variants. So if you had all four of those variants, I would be a little shocked if I'm being honest. So again, so this is another black suit, Spider-Man versus Agents of Shield and Ashes to Ashes, all new, all daring, spectacular 118. That was a $5 book. A House Divided. This is a Rich Buckler cover. This is one of those pieces that I'd love to get my hands on someday. All new, all daring, spectacular 113. A House Divided. And last but not least, all new, all daring, spectacular, part of Secret Wars 2 crossover. This is number 111. Again, you got your black suit Spider-Man. And then the gods cried. What's up, Lyle? Feel free to hang out, man, if you can. We're just chilling. We're not selling much. We're just hanging out. Okay, Ed grilled Vienna, Kegel Viennas, tater salad, baked beans, and red, white, and blue berry muffins. TJ, I made some awesome brownies, ate some hot dogs, watermelon, grilled pineapple, and some American Wagyu tenderloin. Very nice, Lyle. Or very nice, TJ. We had so much. And at the end of the day, all I wound up eating was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay. Tony Award winner Hugh Jackman. $30 bundle. Tony Award winner Hugh Jackman, $30 bundle. I'm going to give you guys a chance to claim it. For those of you who don't know Kegel's hot dogs, they are a Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Midwest staple. They are a hot dog, but they're somehow better than a hot dog. They're a Kegel's hot dog. They serve them at most of the ballparks and most of the ballparks, stadiums, arenas, those kind of things. Nothing special here. Nope says some decent pizza and some botched moscatelli. It feels bad. All right. Nobody wants the best there ever was. Hugh Jackman. Does anyone get that reference if I say Hugh Jackman that way? That's a reference to something. Yeah, but they're different than Kunzler dogs in PA. They're the same in premise, like they're regionally specific hot dogs, regionally popular hot dogs, but like they're a different type of hot dog. Oh man, wow! We hope everything comes out for you, man. We hope everybody feels better, and you get a rest. All right. Parental advisory, not for kids. Wolverine, the best there is, number 1. Wolverine, the best there is, number 1. Wolverine, the best there is, number 2. This was a full run of Wolverine, the best there is, all 12 issues. 3. Some of these covers are insane. 4. And the interior art is Juan Jose Rip. 5. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, all these covers are great. They're all Juan Jose Rip interiors. 11. This is like an iconic cover. And, you know, Cry Wolverine in number 12. Excuse me. All right. Up next. Went unclaimed the first couple times through. Oh, yes. The $75 Vegans covers. Vegans package. These are all vegan covers, aka they're covers without trade dress. So there's no like title, there's no barcode, there's no number, there's no nothing. These are vegan covers. We can't say the other word because the YouTube and Facebook algorithms don't like it because they think we're talking about things you're not allowed to do on the internet. All right. So I'll give you guys one last chance to claim that. Excuse me again. So again, this was a $75 bundle. And here is why. Comics Pro exclusive. MMPR TMNT 2 number 1 is a $20 book. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TMNT 2 number 1 Comics Pro exclusive vegan cover. Street Fighter number 2. This is the Ken Foil Incentive Vegan. It's a $15 book. Summit Comics and Games exclusive David Yardin exclusive. This is a $50 book. House of X number 1. And last but not least, Red Sonja, Volume 2, number 14, Jenny Frison, Vegan, Modern Icon, High-End Art, version 1 in 50, one of only 50. There you go. Nobody claimed any of it. Or you would have got certainly a deal at $75. One book in there alone was worth $50. Okay. This is one that people have been kind of like maybe wanting to see, and I'm kind of not sure how I'm going to show it on the interwebs. But we're going to figure that out. This is the Brown Chicken, Brown Cow Mega Pack. It's the Triple B bundle. It's $50. So save me from having to figure out how to censor this in real time and claim it now. Or don't, and I'll open it. You let me know. Man, Jay doesn't get here soon. There's not going to be a hangout to hang out at. Same with Sean. All right, let's open this one. I will say these bundles are easier to open with the box cutter, these brown bag bundles. But seeing as how I'm wearing a Band-Aid because I took a chunk out of my finger using a paring knife the other day, I'm going to avoid the box cutter and just stick with scissors for now. Oh, yes, the Brown Chicken, Brown Cow bundle. I remember putting this together. I don't even remember what this book is, but I know I bought it from Rex. I would have to look up what it is. But it definitely has collars on the cover. Then we have two Lords of Mars. This is Lords of Mars #2. Ultra high-end risque red ultra limited edition. There are only 50 copies. Again, it features headlights. You can't really see it with the glare I have here, but there's where the headlights are. And then the Lords of Mars #4, again, same kind of rarity, same kind of thing, featuring potatas. Potatoes. Right there on the cover with Deja Thoris. So that was the Brown Chicken, Brown Cow bundle, aka the Triple B bundle. All right. All right, guys. So, as I said at the top of the show, in case you weren't here, I have not been feeling well for about the last week. Since Friday, it has been particularly bad, which is why I was unable to get a show ready for today. That said, I wanted to come on and at least hang out, give you guys a chance to AMA, ask me anything. We'll open some bundles. We'll do some of that kind of stuff. Just do a little bit of hangout. Then once I get through all the bundles, depending on how I feel, we'll either keep going or we'll call it a night. But if I have to stop to take a big slug of Gatorade, just know, trying my best. All right, here we go. This bundle was $15 originally. Guest starring. This is Spectacular Spider-Man, all featuring well-known guest stars. Well-known guest stars in Spectacular Spider-Man. So I'm going to give you guys just a minute if you want to claim this bundle for 15. You can. Otherwise, we are going to open it up, and I'm going to show you what was in it. Hmm. All right. Sorry, I had a pop up on my computer that I needed to deal with. All right. Seeing as how I don't see anybody have claimed this, we're going to open it. This is Spectacular Spider-Man 141, Guest starring The Punisher. Spectacular Spider-Man 141 guest starring The Punisher. Spectacular Spider-Man 137. The Return of the Tarantula. But also Jesus? Like, did you guys know Jesus was in Spider-Man? I forgot. Spectacular Spider-Man 127. This is a black suit Spider-Man, but also the Lizard. Spectacular Spider-Man 124. Remember, this was a $15 bundle, guys. All of these are about $5 books. Spectacular Spider-Man 124, featuring Doc Ock. Doc Ock on Spectacular Spider-Man. Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man 119. Sabretooth is back. So Sabretooth crossing over there in 119. And of course, 105. Spectacular Spider-Man 105 featuring Wasp. By the way, that's part of Gang War. Featuring Wasp. The Wondrous Wasp. This one, Gene Hackman and Will Smith Have 8 Legs, was a $10 bundle. Gene Hackman and Will Smith Have 8 Legs. This is Wolverine 20 through 25. Also, Wolverine Enemy of the State, parts 1 through 5, a full run of Wolverine Enemy of the State. So again, this is your last chance to claim this one if this is something you might be into as a bundle for this price. Otherwise, they become like $5 a book again. So shout out on that one. Do you guys have any AMA questions? Is there anything you guys want to ask me? Talk to me about? Make me feel uncomfortable about? Nope, you're here. Ed, you're here. Last night, what did we decide about? Ed, no, what did we decide last night about Sin City on the show after I left? I'm going to ask you guys. TJ, I do and share. The detail I have that I can share is that it will be September 27th. All of the other details are still being kept secret. And not necessarily that they're being kept secret, but like we want to make a proper announcement when we know what we're doing, when we've had a couple more minutes to talk. I'd ask you guys to do one thing, Ed. One thing. One thing. Hey. I blame Sean. No, so anyway, TJ, I can't specifically answer anything because we're still working out some of the details. And again, we will make a big announcement. In fact, we already have someone who will be running our press release as an article on one of the sites. So once we get all of that sort of out there, then I will be able to talk much more about what we're doing because y'all are going to want to jump in early. All right, so we're going to start here. Nope, that's wrong. These go here. Sorry. Marvel Knights Wolverine number 20. This is Enemy of the State part 1. This is just, Wolverine going, on the cover. Wolverine Enemy of the State Part 2 for Marvel Knights. This is Wolverine. Apparently, the only place he can battle Elektra is underwater. I don't quite get it, but Wolverine versus Elektra under the water. Enemy of the State Part 3, Wolverine number 22. This is the one where Wolverine gets the drop on the Fan 4 stick. Or the three of them that showed up, Mr. Fantastic, the Thing, and the Invisible Girl are all there. Oh, there's Human Torch. I missed him, but, you know, Wolverine and the Fantastic Four. Hey. How are you not going to do the one thing I asked on the show last night, Jay?
What?
Talk about Sin City. Does Sin City hold up?
Sin City's going to have its own episode.
Not true. The answer is yes, and you move on. But you at least talk about it. I blame Sean.
Because I want to talk about both of them.
Oh. Oh, that's a bad idea. Okay. Wolverine number 23. This is Marvel Knights Wolverine, Enemy of the State, Part 4? 3? Part 4 of 6. Sorry. This is Wolverine fighting a bunch of, like, generic cop dudes. This, by the way, this is all Mark Millar, John Romita Jr. Wolverine, by the way, that nobody claimed. Marvel Knights Wolverine, number 24. This is Enemy of the State, Part 5. This is that time where Wolverine teamed up with a blind guy.
Oh, yes.
Again, Mark Millar, John Romita Wolverine. And then Enemy of the State, Part 6. Like, there's like the whole X-Men and randomly Nick Fury. Wolverine number 25. Marvel Knights Wolverine number 25. See? There's like Storm and all of them. And then like randomly, right there, Nick Fury.
Oh.
I think. So sure, yeah, there's randomly Nick Fury. Anyway.
Yeah, same note. I barely remember Dame to Kill For. The Spirit was one I was gonna talk about, but I forgot about it. the Spirit when we were talking about the Shadow. We were gonna talk about the Shadow too.
This is why we do shorter streams and make notes.
Nah.
When you go 5.5 hours, there's too much to remember.
Nah. I'll just do a part 2.
Do a 2-hour stream and then add all the stuff and be like, next time.
Nah. We kept
then
it short.
Got to remind you.
Nah, we kept it short.
Jay, I looked at it this morning. Okay? Can't fool me.
We tangent a lot.
Can't fool me. Kept it short. I spent weeks shorter than your show.
That's true.
All right, so this is, I just opened this bundle, so I'm not even going to bother giving you guys an option to claim it. This was the bow and arrow guy, but not the one you're thinking of, which is like Hawkeye. So this is Hawkeye number 1.
Ooh.
From his first solo series. This was a $15 book. Again, when unclaimed. And this one has 3 characters in it, all of which you might want. And in this one, a blind guy steals Hawkeye's girlfriend. And his girlfriend is a weird Russian lady. This is Hawkeye appears in Daredevil and the Black Widow number, 99, where apparently Hawkeye and Black Widow were dating and Daredevil stole him. And now they're having this whole like Jerry Springer type episode.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The mark of Hawkeye. Yeah, Hawkeye's trying to make Daredevil fall as he's jumping between buildings. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. This $20 bundle is called Before It Got Hickmaned. Before It Got Hickmaned. That's Maury Povich. Ed. Before It Got Hickmaned, we decided, well, everybody figured this out. This is Ben Percy Wolverine 1 through 5. So this is the Ben Percy Wolverine before they had to start plastering House of X, Power of X. Yeah. Crossovers all over it. So before it got Hickmaned. Whether Hickman was involved or not, I don't actually know. But I like to say before it got Hickmaned because that was before being part of the Hickman thing was its entire personality. So you guys have a minute or so to claim that until the delay on YouTube catches up.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right. I'm padding my numbers. I got my own YouTube watching over here on the television. I ain't ashamed to say it. By the way, guys, if you want to help support the EXP, like if you like the things we do, maybe other than this Michigas, throw a super chat, super like, super sticker, or a gift in the comments over on YouTube. We get that money. It helps us more directly. As much as we like when Nick reminds everybody to hit the thumbs up, the thumbs up doesn't really help the algorithm all that much anymore. So many thumbs up get thrown around on YouTube that while it does help, it helps just a little bit. Whereas super chats, super stickers, super thanks, and gifts, because YouTube gets a tiny little taste of them, tiny little taste of that money, helps more because, YouTube are greedy.
Yeah.
We love them for that. They go out of their way to make it easy for us to make money on YouTube because they want to make money. So we love them for that.
Mm.
But throwing those things into the chat are actually more helpful in the moment than likes. Unless you're unsubscribed, then you need to subscribe and click the bell.
Yeah.
If you're already a subscriber, the super chat things, man. Oh no, wrong pile. Better. All right. So, ironically, a lot of these came from Pack Rat Comics in Columbus, Ohio. Ben Percy Wolverine #1. I have a signed copy of this somewhere.
That's a dope cover.
It really is. That is a Adam Kubert cover.
Mm.
Wolverine #2 by Ben Percy. Again, Joe Kubert cover art. Interiors by Adam Kubert cover art. Interiors by Adam Kubert. Boom. #3. This is also Adam Kubert cover art. Ben Percy Wolverine #3. Again, these books are all $5 to begin with, so you're getting a $5 discount if you claim the bundle. Wolverine #4 by Ben Percy and Adam Kubert. And Adam Kubert doing his best Jock impression. Wolverine #5. You see all the little bats and things?
Wow.
Yeah, that's him doing his best Jock impression. What was that? Detective? I can't remember the name of the number of that detective issue, but you know what I mean.
Mm.
All right.
On the list for part 2, TJ.
Yeah. Wolverine Between the Minis. Wolverine Between the Minis. These are the books that came between the small story arcs in the long-running Wolverine story that started with one of the other bundles we had and continued through for a while. But these are the one-shots that kind of connected the mini story arcs together. So That's a $5 bundle if you want it.
This is kind of a preview of what's going down tomorrow. Oh, am I frozen?
Jay said words, and I don't remember what they are.
Oh, I was saying, is this like a preview for tomorrow, or what's going on?
No, we're unbagging the bundles that already existed so that I can make new bundles for tomorrow.
Okay.
This is people's last chance to get these bundles. All right. Let's look at the Wolverines between the miniseries. What's funny is I can't guarantee I'm not just going to rebundle these up under different names.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe I'll mix and match some of them. Create some new concepts. We'll see. All right. So this is Wolverine number 12. Greg Rucka written. Wolverine number 12. Dream. And like there's two Wolverines.
Ooh.
Wolverine number 32. This is a Kier Andrews cover. Kier Andrews interior art written by Mark Millar. I don't know what this. Oh, and there's also inked by Jose Villarrubia. Look at that cover.
Oh wow! You look at the face on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, this one doesn't actually have a title specifically, but it is part of that. It does come between two storylines, and it does actually have a title. I just don't remember what it is. Okay. Stuart Moore and C.P. Smith did this one. This is a double-sized issue, Wolverine number 41. It's the one where Wolverine gets all shot full of arrows protecting the baby. Okay. This is Williams and Campbell. I'm trying to remember which Williams and which Campbell, but it's escaping me because it's been a couple of weeks. Wolverine number 49. Wolverine number 49. This is the one where Wolverine needs to climb inside a Tauntaun because he is Santa Claus. And last but not least, coming out of Wolverine Civil War. This is after Wolverine Civil War. Mark Guggenheim, Humberto Ramos art. This is Wolverine Casualties of War, Wolverine number 48.
Nice.
Very cool. All right.
Hey, Will.
Ooh. Oh, Will Holland, would you send me a message on Facebook, please? I keep forgetting I need to text you.
Are you sitting on something, or are you just sitting on the floor?
I'm sitting on a chair.
Okay.
I was on the floor to start the show.
Oh.
And then I took a break and moved to a chair because sitting on the floor was starting to hurt. But now I have to bend over to get the stuff that's on the floor, which also hurts.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, this concept was not well conceived, okay? Oh, definitely will. I mean, I'm already feeling better than I felt Friday, which is better than I felt Thursday. However, like, as the days go on, I feel worse. Like, I feel good in the morning. I'm real productive through till about dinner, and then I started feeling like, whoo, after dinner. So, we'll see. I've got 3 more bundles to get through. Once I get through those 3 bundles, we're gonna do the AMA thing for a little while longer, as long as I feel good, and then we'll call it. So get your questions in if you have AMA questions. Ask me anything. And I will do my best to answer them. But yeah, we'll call it a night. Once I get done here, I will go and do things like take my blood pressure and sit in a cooler room of the house and see how I feel and determine what my next steps are for tonight, which may or may not include going and getting an oil change, aka going to the emergency room and getting a banana bag. This is the first appearance of Kyle's second favorite Arrowverse baddie, $15. We all know now that this is the first appearance of Bite, aka Felicity Smoke. So last chance to claim this one and take one of the few hot chicks I think exist in the DC universe away from me. Thank you, Will. Which Civil War, Derek?
Oh, goodness.
The one between the North and the South? Some of the ones in Africa? Or the ones between the Marvels? Can you answer all of them? Oh, by the way, these mutton chops are actually called barbecue whiskers. I cook a lot of barbecue. I eat a lot of barbecue in the summer because we do competition barbecue. And the problem with barbecue is you get the sauce in your beard when you have a big full beard, which means multiple times a week you're having to like shampoo and condition and oil and do all that kind of stuff. And it causes your beard to dry out and break off and become like not fun to have. So if I shave just this bit, I can take care of this size properly, and then when I get barbecue sauce on my face, I can just hit with a rag and be done. This is a practical hair effect. You didn't think I'd thought about it that much, did you?
That's the best reasoning I've ever heard of having that facial hair ever.
Well, like in the winter, there's a chance I'll just grow this part, and it'll be soup beard. So that when you drink soup, like if you're drinking soup out of a bowl, you don't have to worry about getting it in your beard.
Yeah.
Practicality with the facial hair, man. All right. This is Fury Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, number 23, against the shocking Bite. First appearance of Bite. This is a $30 book that I was willing to sell for $15, and it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite books in my collection. So, squeegee down the middle, kind of basically unknown. Okay, 2 bundles left. So, AMA, guys, ask me anything. If there's anything you want to know about the experience or stuff happening in the comic book world, I will do my best to answer it within my ability, be that legal or knowledge-based, and I will do my best to tell you what's up. Okay. Where's my gap here? Please hold.
Facial hair.
If you listen, Derek, you didn't think I had put that much time and energy into thinking about my facial hair, which was your first mistake. Your second mistake was mistaking how lazy I am when it comes to personal hygiene. Now, I don't like it when I smell. I wear a lot of deodorants and things and whatnot, but like shampooing your beard is a giant pain in the neck. Like, especially if you have the whole like beard regimen that I have. Like, it's, what up, Flores, over on Instagram? How's it going, man? Anyway, so like if you've got the oils and the balms and the salves and the waxes and to keep it like manageable and soft and nice, and you've got to shampoo and condition it every couple of days. Shampooing and conditioning Really, really is a pain in the neck. Anyway. So
Yeah,
this is the Batman's Grave 1 through 12 bundle. It was $45 bundle.
Neil Patrick Harris wasn't kidding in A Million Ways to Die in the West. It's expensive to take care of your beard.
Right. It is very expensive to look this good. I mean, listen, to go get my head shaved, my beard lined out, and all of this taken care of, like properly, is a $40 a month expenditure. Right. It really is a process. And that's the other thing. Like, you're eating, and like all of a sudden there's a hair in there, and you're not sure if it's the person who made your food or yours. It's a whole level of paranoid.
Yeah.
TJ, autistic.
Jeez.
Right. No, it's a little longer and a little wider than Burnside's. Yeah, this is mine. I actually, previous to this, had it cut at an angle that came down here so that these came to a point like I was in a 1990s ska band. Like, like I was one of those guys who walked around like in Doc Martens in a zoot suit in the middle of the summer. That was the facial configuration prior to this. But I like the squared off. It's a little better. It's a little more comfortable. Over on Instagram, Flores says, I'm good. About to shave off my beard today. It's too hot out. Right? I hear you. All right. So this is Warren Ellis, Brian Hitch, Graham Nolan, Batman's Grave #1. This bundle was $45. Again, this was 12 books. They were all between $4 and $5 originally, and they're still worth between $4 and $5. Batman's Grave #2. Again, you can see that Brian Hitch cover art really well if I deal with the glare properly. Here's one where Batman is getting choked out by somebody in the Batman's Grave #3. So on and so forth. All 12 books were part of that $45 bundle. That went unclaimed for the last couple of weeks. All right. The last thing that's still a bundle that we need to open or get claimed is Don't Tell the Roadrunner. Don't Tell Roadrunner. It's a $10 bundle. We've solved this. That this is Wolverine #7 through 11 by Greg Rucka. Coyote Crossing. Yes, or you could be Ron Jeremy, Mr. Nope. Like,
that's true.
It goes one of two ways. You're either Tom Selleck or you're Ron Jeremy with that mustache. It's one of the two, man. I guess you could also be Jeff Foxworthy, but you'd have to dye it like blonde. Or you could be Ted Lasso, but you'd have to dye it brown. Your hair is too dark to be either of those without dyeing it. And dyeing your beard is harder than dyeing your hair. Don't ask me how I know, I just do. No, a few years ago, I dyed my beard so that I could go as Kevin Smith as part of a store-wide costume. Everybody in the shop went as different characters from Kevin Smith movies for Halloween. So we did Halloween Comic Fest, and we were all different Kevin Smith characters. And I was Silent Bob from Clerks 2.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. All right, Coyote Crossing is getting opened. Oh, I only ever would have dyed it for like Halloween for cosplay. kind of thing. Nope. I definitely didn't actually want to do it. But it was for an important cosplay. And I also would do it like for the right role in the theater, but like I don't really have time for that stuff anymore, so I don't. This is Greg Rucka and I think Leandro Fernandez. Yes. Leandro Fernandez art. Wolverine number 7, Coyotes Crossing Part 1. Wolverine number 7. Again, this is Greg Rucka and Leandro Fernandez. Wolverine number 8, Coyotes Crossing Part 2. This is, again, a Fernandez interiors. I don't know if this is a Fernandez cover or not. This is the one I'm not sure about. But this is Wolverine number 9, Coyotes Crossing Part 3. Wolverine number 10. Again, we're back to Leandro Fernandez covers and interiors. Coyotes Crossing Part 4. And Wolverine number 11. Coyote Crossing Part 5. So, guys, that was everything that was in the unclaimed bundles that hadn't been claimed on the past few shows. I'm going to, hopefully tomorrow, work on some new bundles. Get ready for tomorrow night's show. I will probably just do a lot of loose books tomorrow night, though, from 9 to 11 Eastern here on the EXP as part of Second Shift Lunch. That is assuming I'm not otherwise hospitalized or something dumb. But we should be here. Should be. So I am going to, it's like 11:17. I'm going to do like another 10 minutes, 13-minute hangout here. Does anyone have any questions about what's going on in the comic book business? What's going on in the industry? Any questions about the EXP? Any questions about like anything else that I can sort of answer for you? Here on the show, while we have a few minutes, it's been a week. It's been a heck of a week. For a lot of us have had hard mental health weeks. A lot of us have had hard business weeks. A lot of us have had really successful weeks, though. Thanks to getting on the other side of some stuff. Now we just have to get through the stuff that we've moved past, right? So, shout out again. I'm gonna go, right about until 11:30. And if you have any questions, just ask. Have I watched the Ironheart series? No, I haven't, but I have watched the Geek Chat Thursday nights on the EXP at 8:30 Eastern. And they have royally explained it to me. I may still watch it, but probably not for a while, Will. Just truth be told, I'm so far behind on stuff that I'm struggling to decide if I even want to bother getting caught up on some of it, or whether I'm just going to start over and say, okay, I'm going to go see Superman, I'm going to go see Fantastic Four, and anything that happened prior to these things, I do not care.
Yeah.
Right, and just sort of start fresh, like make a new save point and go from there. Any new EXP shows that you could talk about? No, TJ. There is one that is coming that will make a lot of you very happy. It features a slightly large Floridian man who is very loud and wears Hawaiian shirts. And the store in which he works, but that's all I can say about that one. Otherwise, Frank Castle will come to my house and, do what the Punisher does to me. They are still working out their kinks and their bugs and testing out and getting used to selling. So once they do that, we will be talking about where they will go on the EXP, and they will be joining us. likely on Wednesday nights, replacing Kyle and Jay's Q&A. And I have a plan for Kyle and Jay's Q&A. Don't miss that. Like, the show is not going away. The show is just changing sort of how it exists. That show was never meant to last. It was never meant to be a long-term show. It was just something we were going to do until we found something to replace 360 Comics when they were with us. But they are, but the show has kind of, I think Jay and I both kind of like doing it.
Yeah.
We like just having a show where we don't have to press a lot of buttons and we get to bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I produced the show, so Jay just gets to be on the air. And Will, we're trying not to. We'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, so we press the buttons and we just go and we hang out, and it's not really like Jay has to produce the Hydra Hangout, which is a nightmare for him. I have to produce a lot of, we both produce a lot of the other shows on the EXP. So like it just, it's a hard thing. So having that show where we're just chilling is super fun. It's not going to go anywhere, but it is going to not be Wednesday nights at 9 anymore when they're ready. What is going on between Diamond and Dynamite? Well, all I can tell you, Lieutenant, is what is publicly available. Now, I will say this. I'm going to make a small adjustment here so I don't feel like I'm talking out of both sides of my face. There we go. What I will say is this. It's a lot of work to read all of the court filings and all of that kind of stuff to really, truly understand what's going on. In fact, I have multiple times had to consult with my own lawyers just to be like, hey, I know what all these words are, but when you put them together in a sentence like that, I don't know what they mean anymore. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those, like, I did not think that word could legally follow that word. That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, but basically, Dynamite, and I will say this too. This is something I will say from the top of every mountaintop, every rooftop, everywhere I go. Nikki is incredibly loyal. Nick is more loyal to me, more loyal to Jay, more loyal to the experience than he probably should have been. He is also more loyal to Diamond than he probably should have been. They had a lot of years where they were very successful business partners. So when everybody else started jumping ship, Nick decided to say, you know what? All those years count for something. And I'm going to hold out, right? I'm going to try. And so he kept trying. And as a result, the tab kept running, right? He kept sending new product to Diamond. Diamond kept soliciting sales for new product. They kept selling the new product. They kept fulfilling the new product. But what they didn't do at the end of the day was send Nick the money for the product they had sold. The way Diamond works is consignment, right? Publishers pay the artists, they pay the writers, they pay the license fees, they pay whatever they have to pay. They pay the printers and they pay the shipping to Diamond. Then Diamond has it on consignment on on a deal, right? Like, so we get X%, you get X%. Well, Diamond hasn't paid out their percentage to Dynamite in like 7 months, maybe longer. And as a result, Diamond owes Diamond owes Dynamite a lot of money. And it's gotten to the point where that amount of money isn't an amount of money that the war chest of the company or Nick himself or whatever can continue to float. So this past week, well, a week ago, like this past Thursday, had been a week. Nick's lawyers, on behalf of Nick and his company, filed a suit basically trying to expedite that payment process, right? They had filed suit going, hey, you haven't paid us, and that court date was set for the 16th. Nick's going, well, if we don't get that money sooner, we're not going to make payroll. So he, along with his lawyers, filed a suit against Diamond saying, hey, we need to move this hearing up, and you need to make a decision to either force Diamond to pay us or essentially not, right? Those are the two choices the judge has. And that's going to happen the 16th. The hearing that Nick had this week was, we want to do that sooner. And the judge said no. which basically means at the end of the day that Diamond has the amount of time Diamond is legally guaranteed and is supposed to have to get things in order to make the case, to do the thing, rather than having their deadline moved up, basically. So while I'm sort of shocked that it happened, I'm not shocked that that was the result. Again, in talking to my own lawyers and just trying to understand things, they go, the judge probably said the easiest route forward here is not to change anything. And while that makes it harder for Nick, it's easier on the legal process. So that's what they've done. I've been talking to Nick today a lot. Guys, if you're of the praying kind or the good vibes kind, send Nick and Dynamite your vibes, your prayers, your whatever. Send them your dollars. Go to Dynamic Forces and buy some stuff. Like I was kind of half-ass trying to sell you some stuff tonight. I don't care that I didn't sell anything. Go over to DF and buy something. Buy something from Rex's show tomorrow night. Like those kind of things. Go back to Humble Bundle. Go to Kickstarter and buy the Pope cards. What's the worst that can happen? It helps you cut the line when you get to heaven. Like, come on. Nick, if you're listening, put a Get Out of Hell free card in one of the packs, man. Just saying.
Smart.
Like those are the things you can do to actively help Dynamite right now. Go buy stuff from DF, buy stuff from Rex, go to their Whatnot and their eBay Live and all of those other places where they sell and buy stuff from them. All of that money goes into those coffers and helps. So do that. Will asks, are you guys looking to hire anyone? As I am looking for work. Will, we are actively trying not to have to lay anyone off. I'm just going to be straight with you. This Diamond thing has trickle-down effects that go all the way down past me, past Jay, past Danny, all the way down to the furthest reaches of the comic book business. We are not unaffected. Jay will verify this. How many hours have I worked since Wednesday, Jay?
Too damn many.
Right. Wednesday to Thursday into early Friday morning, I worked 40 hours in 2 days, basically. By the time I got off the air with Matthias, I had slept 2 hours, which I think is part of the reason I don't feel good. Like, understand this. I think that's part of the reason I don't feel good. Now, I slept like 13 hours Friday night into Saturday and like 15 hours last night into this morning. So I don't think, again, like, I don't think that's the sole problem, but it's certainly not helping. Just trying to come up with new ways to keep the experience moving and to keep us unaffected. Hold on, TJ. We'll address that in just a second. So, trying to keep the experience unaffected. Now, we not going anywhere. Right? Me and Jay and Danny and Jen and Nick and Ford and all the hosts on the EXP are in this for the long haul. We're not going anywhere. Things might get tight, things might get rough, but it's like I said to everybody else, like, I'm perfectly capable of going and getting a job at Menards, selling lumber and doing the EXP at night so the EXP can keep going. Jay is perfectly capable of going and climbing back inside a freezer at Kroger and becoming a Yeti again. Like, we can do what we need to do to keep this thing going. So we're not going anywhere. As bad as things might be when we can't bring other people on, when we can't do new shows because we don't have hours to work, we're not going anywhere. And we're not paring down unless I absolutely have to. All right. I promise you this, we're not going to do less content unless a doctor tells me, Kyle, if you continue doing the amount of content you're doing, you'll be in the ground.
Yeah.
So, all right. Did the giant Floridian used to work at Chippendales? I do believe at one point he did spend time in his career being Launchpad McQuack, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one from Tailspin?
No.
Who's the one from Tailspin?
Oh, goodness.
Who's the guy from Rescue Rangers? Doesn't matter. He was a cartoon pilot. So, yes, he did used to work for Chippendales. TJ, I understand the legal timeline, but this is killing the standing of Universal and Ad Populum. So that is not entirely true, TJ. And this is where it gets real sort of foggy. There is an amount of this that is the responsibility of Classic Diamond, of Jeppy Family Enterprises, right? Diamond before the auction, right? So that's on the Jeppy, that's Raymond James, that's Chase Bank, all on the hook for that stuff. Okay. Then Launchpad was on both Tailspin and Darkwing Duck. Thank you, Will. I knew I thought I was right. Anyway, so that's old Diamond. Then there is, like, I'm calling it Classic Diamond. Then there's New Coke or New Diamond.
DuckTales, y'all. DuckTales. DuckTales and Darkwing.
Baloo was Tailspin. Launchpad was, yes. So Baloo. I think he was Baloo at one point. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyhow, doesn't matter. We're getting off topic. So New Diamond is responsible for anything after the auction. That is not Universal. That is technically not Ad Populum. That is a company called Sparkle Pop. Ad Populum is a subsidiary of Sparkle Pop. What Sparkle Pop does is liquidation. They buy up pieces of company, they take the pieces they want out, and then sell everything else. That's all they do. So what is happening is Universal and Ad Populum went in together to buy all the pieces they wanted of Diamond. Then Universal was like, we'll take Alliance and Diamond UK or whatever that we wanted, and Ad Populum can have the rest. Now what's happening is Sparkle Pop, the parent company of Ad Populum, is behaving. I'm not going to say the words that I have said in private because I don't want it to be misconstrued as giving an actual legal definition. But nearly, I would say, negligent in the way they have handled things. So it's not really affecting Universal so much as it is Sparkle Pop and Ad Populum, but they're responsible for everything that happened after the auction. But here's the problem with this, and this is where it's really important. There are so many countersuits, tortious interference suits, so many other things been filed by Alliance Entertainment, been filed by different banks, been filed by different publishers, been filed by different people, that settling any of that, like what Sparkle Pop owes people, is unfortunately just tied up in court, right? Like judges need to rule on, did old Diamond and New Diamond collude, right, to force Alliance Entertainment out of the game? Did they conceal things to force Alliance Entertainment to pull out of their buy? Did they do things that would be technically illegal? That has to get settled before anything else can get settled. Because as it turns out, if the judge rules they did, then who knows what happens? I certainly don't. I'm not a bankruptcy attorney. Right? So all of that stuff it all has to get sorted before anybody can answer anything. Jay, I'm having the weirdest moment of deja vu right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had this conversation sitting in this chair, looking at this screen before.
I think we have.
No, because I've never done this setup before.
Well, maybe you've done something close enough to I think we've had this conversation before.
Well, the conversation, sure, but like I'm feeling like looking past my camera at my YouTube feed on my TV in the delay, and then looking over here to check the comments, like, ooh, 2 black cats just crossed my path, and an agent's gonna come in and shoot me in the head like it's the end of the Matrix.
That's kind of how I feel almost every day logging into StreamYard. Like, so don't know what happened, but all of a sudden my Chrome StreamYard works again. Plays videos. I've tested it.
We will talk. There's an answer to that.
crazy.
Did you see the new tab on the right, Jay? The people tab?
The people. There's a people tab. Okay.
Uh-huh. So, like, I can turn Jay down if I don't want to hear him.
Oh.
See how Jay's all quiet now? Or I can turn on, like, auto volume, and it will correct.
Oh.
Yeah, there's, like, a bunch of stuff we can do. It's super fun. In the people tab. Anyway. That's only interesting to Jay and I.
Yeah.
But no, so where Unknown says it feels like it could be tied up, it sounds like it could be tied in court for years. No. There is a definitive timeline as set forth by Chapter 11 bankruptcy proceedings that limits this. But depending on how many suits are filed and when they're filed and what they're filed as and how all that stuff, it could take quite a while. And then once that is determined, once those things are determined, then the judge can set forth the timeline. And that could take a while, yes. Well, here's the thing, TJ, about the court of retailer opinion. The court of retailer opinion is like the court of old lady opinions when you go to the beauty shop. I don't know, has anybody here been to a beauty shop lately? I'd take my grandma to the beauty shop. And them women at the beauty shop have opinions about a whole bunch of stuff that they couldn't spell if you wrote it out in front of them. That's how comic retailers are. All right. The hours that I've put into learning this, there are very few other retailers probably who have spent the time. They're just reading ICV2. They're just reading graphic policy. They're just reading the beat. God forbid they read Bleeding Cool. Because you never know if what Bleeding Cool says is true or not. And they're just forming opinions without really knowing anything. And that's fine. But the court of retailer opinion will shut the hell right up when there's an opportunity for them to make money again. The number of retailers I watched drag Dynamite for months and months and months because Dynamite was still at Diamond, only to celebrate for a few hours when they launched at Lunar and then drag Dynamite again because of how many covers there were on Lunar all of a sudden, is all I need to know about those people not knowing anything about, they couldn't tell their butthole from a hole in the ground. And I'll say this too about the court of retailer public opinion. I love retailers, guys. I really do. I spend an inordinate amount of time trying to figure out how to support and build up retailers. These are my people. I am part of the court of retailer opinion. But there's a long-standing saying. The thing about comic book retailers is if you give them $100, they'll be pissed you didn't give it to them in 20s. They want both sides of the fence, and they want to play both sides of the fence. So I think until all of this is settled out, right, until Universal is distributing more than just Distillery, Bad Idea, and Diamond in the U.S., until Universal gets fully up and running in Fort Wayne, until we see what Lunar is going to do, until we see what Penguin Random House is going to do, until Diamond decides to remove their head from the cookie jar, they don't know anything, right? We don't know anything. TJ says, look at the number of retailers that drag Comics Pro. Right. And when was the last time any of those retailers interacted at all with Comics Pro? When was the last time any of those retailers participated in the process? It's been a while. TJ and I were talking on the phone yesterday, and I said this to him. There are two groups of retailers. There are probably more than that. You could probably subdivide it more than that. But there are two groups of retailers in this business right now. There are the groups of retailers that are active and interested in making things better, are active and interested in being proactive to grow the industry, to grow their businesses. When you look at Jen and Nancy and Rich Davis and me with my weird retail setup and Henri with his con stuff. And you look at the people who go to Comics Pro meetings, those are the people who are out here every day going, what can I do different? What can I do to make things better? And there are a lot of those. I forgot to mention Matthias in this too. Matthias is certainly part of it. And then there are those who sit in their lawn chairs and snipe. They're the ones who go, well, back in the 90s, what I did was this. And it helped me because it was the 90s and everything was right in the 90s. Guess what, guys? Go look at the Spirit of Retail Award nominees this year. Every one of them is a Comics Pro member. Every one of them is active in the discussion boards and active trying to come up with solutions, and active trying to find a better way. The ones that aren't ain't going to be here that long. It's just the way it is. I was talking with someone earlier about Mike from Fat Jacks. Mike was a great dude. It's so sad to me the way things went with Mike. With the store and all of the dysfunction there, and then the way he got, when he got mugged, and then how he passed, all of that kind of stuff. Like, it just was, that guy did not deserve that, because Mike was extremely old school. Mike didn't want a POS system. He wanted a cash register. He didn't want a digital pull list. He wanted a piece of notebook paper. But Mike understood that if he didn't do things like have a POS system, have a digital pull list that could be updated, have a working website, have a social media presence, he wasn't going to make it. And so Mike very quickly realized that he needed to adapt, and he did. And he came to people like me. And he came to people like Elias and the guys who were on that show at the end, and people like Nick and people like Jay and whoever. He came to CBSN and tried his hardest. The guys who just sit back and go, well, we'll just see, we'll just complain, are the guys who ain't going to be around that long. And that sucks. So, all right, we went 15 minutes longer than I planned to go. So we're going to extend by 15 minutes because I'm feeling good. So, right, that's exactly it. The stores you go into that half their lights work, they have displays that are rotten, they have dust everywhere, poor customer services, no CRM, no customer relation management, no POS system, no cash register. Those are the stores that struggle. Ed, are you taking off? We're going to go another 15. But the stores that try and the stores that update are the stores that do well. Like, I'm very excited at the list of who's nominated for the Eisners this year. Some of those stores are truly innovative. Dreamers and Make Believers in Baltimore is my LCS when I'm in Baltimore. This is how good those guys are. Here at home, I have 3 LCSs that I visit for different things. I have one shop where I go for Marvel and DC because it's really all they carry. I have one shop that I go for my mid-range, my Image, my Boom, my Dynamite, my IDW, my Dark Horse, my Mad Cave. And then I have another shop that I go to for the indies, for everybody smaller than that. When I go to Dreamers and Make Believers, I send them the whole list, and they go, how long are you here? And I go, I'm here from this day to this day. And they get my books for those days. Like, for a month a year, for 2 months a year, they take care of me. You go into their shop, they have couches. They have reading areas. They have a coffee shop with nice tables and chairs. They have fast Wi-Fi. They have a gaming space. They have a local creator space. They have a kids space. They have everything you look for in a local comic shop, and they are constantly trying to innovate and improve. Love that shop. So that's the stuff we're looking for, right? That's the stuff that's going to see everybody through this. Is not the, you know, those are the shops that I think are going to push us through all of this and survive all of this. Will Holland. Okay, so I walked into a comic book recently, assume comic book shop, where the guy kept stocking while I was asking questions. That said, what was a great comic store experience you had recently? Well, one, if he's a one man shop, if he's working by himself, I don't expect him to stop stocking just to answer your questions, right? If you need him to show you something, you need him to show you where something is, you need him to ring you out, absolutely. Stop stocking. But he probably has a list of things he has to get done during the course of the day. And if he's there by himself, that's a thing. The best local comic shop experience I have had recently, because I don't really go to shops where I have bad experiences, right? Like, give, I'm kind of a one strike guy, right? Because I have so many friends and so many shops that I can visit that I'm sort of a one strike guy. Um, but again, Will, that might just be that guy's job. I used to go into Comic Town in Columbus, and the whole staff would be behind the counter. They would be working on miscellaneous projects. I would ask questions about the comic. One guy would answer me because that was the comics guy. Then they had another staff that was the Magic the Gathering guy. Then they had another staff that was the Pokemon guy. And because they had a big gaming space that was always open, all those guys were always there. So like that's a thing. Like you don't know the operations of the shop necessarily. So could those other staff help you? Maybe, maybe not. So judging based on just the guy not stopping to stock books, that's not a thing I would judge on. I guess my best recent experience is at Top Comics in Traverse City. Um, Mike, the owner of Top Comics, one is a great dude. But going in there and being able to pick up books that sell out other places because he had ordered enough inventory to stock them on the shelves. Um, Having him replace bags and boards on some of the back issues I bought because he was like, these are not good enough for me to let walk out of the store. Let me put these in a new bag and board. Um, Instead of making me buy a short box, he just gave me an old short box. Like I go, man, I wish I had a short box with me. Like I have two in my car that are full, but I could use another one. And he goes, well, we're out of new ones, but here, just take this old one. Right. So instead of making me buy a new long, he just gave me an old short. Stuff like that is great there. But my other great experience I had recently was at the Laughing Ogre in Columbus, Ohio. Laughing Ogre is one of these comic shops that is as informed by the neighborhood it's in as the product it sells. It has a massive zine section. Why? Because CCAD, the Columbus School for Creative Design, or whatever it is, or for comics and whatever it is, CCAD is less than a block from them. Their back of their shop abuts a high school where kids actively make zines. They are less than a mile from the arts campus of Ohio State University, right? So they have a ton of zines and ultra indies and, hey, I made this comic book at FedEx kind of stuff. But then you go up to the front of the book and they have novels. They have stuff that you could find at Barnes and Noble and Books a Million. Gibb, who runs Laughing Ogre, has put together what I think is one of the premier shops in the country. I think he does a really good job. And just going in there and like having these people be able to have his staff be able to have really, really specific conversations about superheroes with me was super fun. And I guess the third is I went to Green Brain for their 40th anniversary sale. And Green Brain is one of those books that if you looked at it from the outside, you would say has an identity crisis. Is it a comic shop or is it a bookstore? But when you go in and you get to know Dan and Katie and you get to spend any more than 5 minutes in the shop, you understand immediately that it is every bit of both, and that is exactly how it should be. They have everyone is represented in that store. Every interest, every periodical, everything is represented in that store. You like manga, they got you. You like light novels, they got you. You like comic books, they got you. You like regular novels, they got you. You a book talk girly, they got you. That's a great shop. There's a reason that shop has been around 40 years and is still, I would consider, on the cutting edge of everything going on. So those are my good experiences. Some shops haven't had any problem. Are they a bookstore, a collectibles shop, a hot topic, a resale shop like Goodwill? I would challenge that, TJ. Some shops do have an identity problem. I don't think necessarily it's that. I think some shops have an identity problem of, are they a store or are they a clubhouse? Right? I think the ones you go into that are like a collectible shop, a resale shop, a one of those things is a collectible or is like a clubhouse, right? Those are people who are housing their collection in their shop, and if you pay what they want, they'll sell it to you, but they don't really care if they sell it. Whereas there are stores that only stock what they intend to sell. So, are they a store or are they a clubhouse? I think that is the identity crisis we're seeing in comics right now, more than what is your store. Because right now, the way things are going, a store can be anything. And a store has to be multiple things in order to survive. You can't, in my area, you can barely have a comic book shop that doesn't sell Magic the Gathering or Pokemon. You don't necessarily have to have a play space, but you've got to at least stock the product. Right? There's only one shop in town that doesn't at least stock the product. In the greater Detroit area, because of the way the shops are there, you got to have toys. You got to have collectibles. You can't just have comics, because so much of what's coming into your shop are people who don't really care about the comic books, but like Superman because they saw the movie. So they want an action figure, they want a poster, they want a pop figure, they want a whatever that they could put on a shelf or they could put on their desk or whatever. So you've got to. What's the room for here? Han knows. He's trying to tell me. Thank you, Han. The word is diversify. You've got to diversify anymore, especially with the current state of distribution, right? You've got to get products from as many places as you can, and you've got to carry as wide a spread as you can carry that makes sense for your store. Tailor is not a bad word, but diversify is the word I was looking for, right? If you're Nancy, you see it on Nancy's show all the time, guys. The things she offers in terms of toys and collectibles is about all she carries in terms of toys and collectibles. Her shop works because she is I have more comics than anybody shop in her area. There are other shops that have more toys, that have more games, that have more whatever. But that's what makes Nancy special in her area. You've got to diversify in a way that makes sense for you. So I think people need to stop having their clubhouse in their comic shop and start having their store in their comic shop. What else? Anything? We got 4 minutes.
That's too funny. Apparently Jenna didn't hear the part where I was telling her, "Hey, I'm gonna hop on with Kyle for a little bit." She thought I was in the bathroom this whole time.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's amazing. So, I mean, you guys obviously you don't need to tour my whole house, right? But like in the room where I work when I work from home,
That's the way to do it.
so like that same mistake has been made here multiple times. And then like I've gone in there and like been in real trouble and like needed help, and people have thought I was out here working.
Yeah.
Going, no, I'm dying. Someone bring me a Pepto Bismol. Right. Yeah, good shops sell a bunch of stuff, man, and that's just the way it is these days. So, all right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call it a day. But tomorrow, Rex will be here from 6 to 8 with Comic Collectibles. Jay and I will be here. Fingers crossed, if you can. I can't really anymore. Fingers crossed for second shift lunch, 9 to 11. Bronze and Bigby will be here tomorrow night, 11 to midnight, 11 to 1 a.m. or so.
Yeah.
All these times are Eastern. Then on Tuesday, Minta Skimmett will be here. Jen and Shanice will be reading a bunch of great books. Wonderland. The thing they sent me that they were doing is weird, and then I don't want to say the second word because I've already cussed a bunch on this stream. So weird week. So I called it weird stuff, guys. I had to Photoshop a man in a panda suit behind a computer for their thumbnail. There are things I can't unsee. Anyway, so they'll be here. Henri will be back from Denver. He is doing a super show. So many killer Superman books on Kicking It with Henri. Tuesday night at 10. Wednesday, Rex will be back 7 to 8 here on the EXP. And Jay and I will be here 9 to 11 for Kyle and Jay's Q&A, where Jay will be trying to mop the drool off his face while he's still hungover from Superman. Because of the way my week is shaking out, I won't get to see it until Thursday. So we will be doing a spoiler-free come down from Superman for Jay and a spoiler-free build-up for me.
Yeah.
So that will be fun. FurryCon is later in the year in Atlanta, TJ. You know what I'm talking about. Hey-o. But then Thursday, Minute to Skim It will be here. Or not Minute to Skim It. What's in the Box? Geek Chat and Melon Mog will be back. Then Friday, Matthias and I will be here with Order Up, the Final Order Cutoff show, as well as Nick will be here with his art show. He has been pushing this art show for 2 weeks. He is very prepared, very ready to go. And then Nancy will be back. Nancy has some killer stuff for her sale this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then next week, same bat time, same bat channel here, Sunday, 10 o'clock. We will be back hanging out. Now, I'm going to say this, guys. Be watching YouTube, okay? Be watching these streams when you get on. There may be super goals, super chat, super like, super thanks goals that if you meet, maybe we'll unlock some extra content. Just saying. Maybe it will force me to come on and do a hangout while I'm doing shipping. Maybe it will force Jay to come on and do a spoiler review of Superman on Thursday while I'm seeing the movie. We'll see, right? But be watching for those things. We're going to be doing some new stuff here that is going to be very interesting and very fun. So keep your eyes open. The truth is out there. Be good to each other. Pray for the world. Special thoughts and good vibes to both Nick and Dynamite and the entire state of Texas right now. That is a really tough thing to watch. So good vibes to them as well. We're sending Superman thoughts that way. So in the meantime, stay tuned. Oh, hey, Wednesday, depending on what I hear back from Bill Sienkiewicz, we may be having a super special 5 o'clock show here on The Experience with Mark Wade and Bill Sienkiewicz. Okay.
Oh, wow.